Coming up today on Studio 13 Live, the inductees for this year's Asian Hall of Fame ceremony have been announced. What local faces made the list?
Plus, we are diving into a big TikTok trend, how you can get your hands on candied grapes and uniquely flavored pickles, all from a local business.
Then we're checking in with our legal experts to answer your questions about the law, including what to do if your tree damages your neighbor's car.
And the Lake House Bellevue showing us how to make a refreshing heirloom tomato salad. Studio 13 Live starts right now.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make your day.
Hello, happy hump day. So glad to have you here with us. I'm Carly Henderson.
And I'm Mireya Garcia. And today is National Book Lovers Day. We were talking about it during Good Day Seattle. And you know, I have to know, Carly, have you read anything that you've really loved recently?
Yes, I have. Ooh. I have such a good recommendation. So it's this book called Romantic Comedy. It's by Curtis Sittenfeld, and my best friend read it, told me about it. And it's also part of Reese's book club. I feel like Reese really knows how to pick a book. But the plot is basically, it kind of takes place on, it's not called SNL, but you know it's SNL.
You get it, yeah.
And sparks kind of fly between this SNL comedy writer and a male pop star. And it was a really, really, really good read. I haven't loved a book this much since Evelyn Hugo.
Really?
Yeah. It was my favorite book of the year so far. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to be reading that next. Okay. And actually, speaking of Reese Witherspoon, you're right. She knows how to pick a book.
Yeah.
I just started Yellow Face by R.F. Kuang, and that came highly recommended to me by a friend from college and then also a former coworker. So two different people. And then I looked it up and was like, oh, Reese also likes it.
Yeah.
I'm going to like it too. You know, yes, I am loving it so far. This one is about two authors that are friends. They have very different experiences in their industry. And then after a terrible accident, one of them decides she's going to do whatever it takes to find success.
Oh,
a little drama there.
Wow, you really sold me on that. Now I'm intrigued. What is it that she does?
Bad things, girl. Bad things.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Be sure to share your favorite books. We're always looking for something new to read.
Always, yeah.
On social media, just search for Studio 13 on Fox.
Yeah.
All right, the 2023 inductees for the Asian Hall of Fame, they have been announced, and there's some local faces that made the list too. That includes Super Bowl champ and former Seahawk Doug Baldwin Jr., U.S. Representative Marilyn Strickland, and Port of Seattle Commissioner President Sam Cho. Inductees inspire courage and character in service for the betterment of the country and humanity. That's a lot of big stuff to do. Yeah. We're so proud of them. The Seattle Founders Gala honoring Pacific Northwest inductees, that is going to be held next month. So great celebration.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like in our society, we're so comfortable kind of worshiping celebrities and beauty and things like that. But these are people who are really working to make the world a better place. And the organization that it goes to is great too. So I think this is awesome. Some hometown heroes.
Love it.
All right. Rapper Tory Lanez got sentenced to 10 years in prison for shooting Megan Thee Stallion. Lanez was convicted of 3 felonies in December. And if you remember, that incident all happened at a party in LA in 2020. So Megan testified saying that Lanez fired a gun at the back of her feet and shouted at her to dance. During his sentencing hearing, Tory described Megan as a friend he still cares for deeply, regardless of her feelings about him. As for how Meg feels, she ultimately did want the judge to impose a tough sentence and said mercy is for people who show remorse. Whew, she didn't even originally want to press charges in this whole thing. It was the Los Angeles DA that came forward with these charges, and she just said he tried to humiliate her and re-traumatize her by including her in, you know, his songs and his music videos and things like that. So here's the end to the story.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the thing that I found most horrifying is that I did look into the cesspool that are comment sections, and a lot of people were coming to his defense saying that the sentence was far too grave for what happened. And I just don't think it was. I mean, yes, we can talk all day long about our criminal justice system and its unfairness to certain people. But in this particular case, I mean, he shot at someone and then tried to humiliate them. That is horrifying.
Totally. He could have killed her. You know, I think there's also people bringing up, you know, the fact that black women are subject to more violence than the average person, and it's not okay. And like, I couldn't believe how much the sort of social commentary was divided on this whole thing. It was wild, and people really been talking about it for a couple of years now. So. There you go.
Surprising to me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Cardi B actually helping turn a microphone and kind of an intense incident into what turned out to be nearly $100,000 for a charity donation by throwing that mic at a misbehaving fan during one of her concerts after, you know, she went viral because a fan threw a drink at her. The audio production company, The Wave, they posted that mic on eBay and it sold for $99,900. That money, as promised, will be donated to the Wounded Warrior Project and local nonprofit Friendship Circle Las Vegas, which helps kids, teens, and young adults with special needs. Lovely, truly, but she is still like being investigated on this as well.
That's true. That's true. Definitely a little bit of sunshine in the cloudy sky of this situation. Can you imagine having this microphone displayed in your house? Like, what a quirky item to have. And then people ask you about it. Apparently it still works. So you could even do a little karaoke with it, perhaps.
Do you think
don't throw it again?
It might have like a dent from whoever.
Right? Right? Oh, wild times. So listen to this. Actor Billy Porter says he's going to have to sell his house due to the ongoing Hollywood strike. He told the Evening Standard he's taking a number of cost-cutting measures during the strike, but overall, this whole strike has cost him to lose work as various projects that he was set to work on in September, they're now on hold. He says the cuts are ultimately forcing him to put his house on the market. Now, Porter's currently in London to co-produce and star in the musical A Strange Loop, and he says that he plans to join the picket line once the show comes to an end. Man, I feel like, you know, you see Billy Porter going to the Met Gala and like living this sort of glamorous life, but it does seem like a lot of celebrities are living like maybe a little bit over their means here, or like thin margins there where, you know, if only a couple months work, you know, stop for you, you have to sell your house. That's wild, because that's that's not to be taken lightly. You're paying a huge real estate commission, you know, if you have to sell your house. I can't believe that.
And maybe you could speak to this a little more than I could, but I get the sense that in this particular industry, especially if you spend a lot of time in LA, there is that pressure to live beyond your means because you kind of have to keep up appearances. And I think this really showcasing for us exactly the kind of position that we could be in when this happens. But, you know, I think it really illustrates that even very successful actors are struggling.
Yeah, for sure. And they're also paying, you know, their PR teams, their agents, their managers, taxes. So by the time they get that money, it might not actually be as much as we think it is.
Right, absolutely. All right, well, speaking of people in the industry, actress Megan Fox announcing she is releasing a poetry book. I did not know she wrote poetry. That's beautiful. So it is called Pretty Boys Are Poisonous. Big words right there. She says her freedom lives in those pages. Megan says that she actually spent her entire life keeping the secrets of men and says that her body aches from carrying the weight of their sins. She hopes the book will inspire other people to look back into their lives, find their happiness, their identity by using their voices to illuminate what's been buried but not forgotten in the darkness. This book drops November 7th. Looking forward to reading this one, but I think she has spoken pretty openly of how people in the industry kind of wanted to almost manipulate her body.
Yeah, and she was saying that she spoke out about this back in like 2008, 2009, like way before the Me Too movement. And she said that she's never really felt accepted by the feminist community, which I thought was interesting. But I'm really looking forward to reading this book. And are we ready for this? I don't know.
I don't know.
I like this title here.
High drama for sure, but I think that it's exploring some dark stuff in her life, so it makes sense.
Have you ever written poetry?
I have when I was a kid, and everything was very big feelings. What about you?
I remember like having to do it as an assignment as a kid, but I was never that good at it. I feel like it'd be fun to write songs though, which is kind of another version of poetry, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're also getting a look into Mattel's new adventure park that is being built in Arizona. Take a look at this. So the Barbie section is going to let guests inside her home, including her massive closet. You're also going to be able to meet Barbie in hologram form. How fun is that? The resort will also feature Hot Wheels roller coasters and attractions themed after Masters of the Universe and Thomas and Friends, and it's scheduled to open next year. They really went all out with this Barbie hype, right?
You know, Mattel is the it girl of the season, and they are taking advantage of it for sure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That would be really fun, I think. It'd be weird to meet a Barbie hologram.
It would be, but I feel like the kiddos would definitely like it for sure. You know, you got Legoland, so this is fine.
Yeah, give it to us.
I love it. Hey, a lucky person in Florida, perhaps our new best friend, Carly. They won the Mega Millions jackpot, estimated at $1.5 billion, and the jackpot is the third largest in U.S. history, the largest in Mega Millions history, in fact, and that lottery actually confirmed that the winning ticket was claimed out of the Sunshine State. The winner can take that, yearly payout over 30 years or 783 milli as the cash option. You know, I'm all about the full cash option, but what would you do?
I would space it out.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay. Any reason for that? You think you're going to spend it all in one place?
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like, if you spread it out over the time, like buy a house here, buy a house there, help save the world every single year. I don't know.
Is there really a wrong answer, honestly?
Yeah.
No, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Okay, coming up on Studio 13 Live, we are diving into the world of TikTok trends, how you can get your hands on candied grapes and flavored pickles locally.
That looked good. All right, but first, we do have some serious news to get to. We have a heartbreaking story of a loss suffered by Sandra Bullock, her partner dying after battling ALS. We are checking in with our TMZ correspondent to see how she is helping and how donations are now spiking for the ALS Association. Stay with us.
I'm gonna make your day. Yeah, I'm gonna make your day. But no, I ain't so proud. I couldn't be there. Even when I tried, you don't believe it. We do this every time. Seasons change and our love went cold. Feed the flame 'cause we can't let go. Run away while we're running.
It is time to take a look at what is popping in celebrity news.
And for that, we're bringing in Fabian Garcia from TMZ. Hey.
Hey, good morning, you guys. Thanks for having me.
Good morning. Yeah. So, Sandra Bullock's partner, Brian Randall, sadly died over the weekend following a 3-year battle with ALS. And, I hear she's helping raise some awareness and donations for the ALS Association in a pretty big way. Tell us about that.
Yeah, just like you mentioned, he passed away. It was pretty sudden. He was battling ALS privately. And then all of a sudden, news of his death just came down, which is super sad. She'd been with him for years and apparently been taking care of him for the past 3 years. After he passed, her sister actually publicly took to Instagram, kind of explaining the situation a little bit just because it came out of nowhere. And what she said was, we appreciate the prayers and the flowers and everything else, but if you really want to help this cause, go ahead and donate to the ALS Association. And I think there's another charity she mentioned too. Well, we got in touch with the ALS Association. As it turns out, over the 24 hours after she posted that, donations spiked upwards of like 500%, we're hearing.
Wow.
So we don't have like hard figures on what exactly was donated, but it sounds like quite a bit of money. And they're just happy that the Bullock family at large put a spotlight on it. And it seems like people are heeding the call to help. So it's great news, obviously in the wake of some really a sad tragedy for them.
Yeah. Wow.
Absolutely. All right, switching gears a bit. It is no secret that getting tickets to Taylor Swift concerts, that is a toughie. Some people actually found a way to get into SoFi Stadium, though, for the Eras Tour without a ticket. How did they do that?
Yeah, apparently some of these security guards can be bribed. At least that's what we're hearing. So look, this is the last stop on her North American tour, LA. She's doing like a string of 6 shows. It's a big deal here in town. SoFi Stadium's like the big hot stadium now. And apparently over these past few days now, several people have been able to get in without a ticket. We're hearing that guards are apparently taking bribes as low as $60 just to let you slip by. Yeah, and like what we're hearing is people are making their way to like kind of the lower stages, kind of like low on the ground a little bit. It's sort of a game of musical chairs, it seems like they'll hang out in an empty seat, but when somebody comes, they kind of have to like hopscotch around a little bit. But it sounds like there's a handful of people that have been able to get in for free, which is great for them because these Taylor Swift tickets are pricey. For nosebleeds, we're hearing that they're going as high as like $700 on like StubHub and all these resellers and whatnot. So they're super expensive. So it sounds like if you want to shoot your shot, you can maybe you can sweet talk your way in with a couple bucks in hand. It seems like.
Wow.
For $60, you might as well try it.
Who knew it would be so
might as well.
low?
There's no harm in it, I guess. But yeah, I'm not a Swiftie myself, but if I can get in for free, I might go out there and give it a shot myself.
Well, you'll have to update us next time. Xavier and Garcia, thank you so much.
For sure. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate it.
And don't forget, you can catch TMZ right here on Fox 13 weekdays at 7 p.m.
Still to come on Studio 13 Live, hold the updates. How much people are listing their phones with that old Twitter bird logo online for?
Ooh, and up next, we're going to be introducing you to a local business that features candied grapes and pickles. A look into the process of making them. We'll be right back.
Don't gotta wait today.
You know, we love to talk about trends here on Studio 13 Live.
Absolutely, and that's why today we are joined by Stephanie and George, the owners of Dipped and Divine. Hello.
Hi.
So happy to have you here. So you guys specialize in candied grapes and flavored pickles. So tell us a little bit about the trends that got you started as a business.
Well, in the beginning, we decided to make a cake for our daughter's 16th birthday, so that's how we started getting into, making cakes and dipping like strawberries and stuff. And then so we're like, let's spice it up a little bit. So we went on TikTok and found that candy grapes and different types of fruit with hard candy was a trend. So we started.
Cool. That's so cool. I've never heard of this before. You guys told me about it, so I'm excited to try. What grapes should we try first?
Well, we have here is the strawberry lemonade,
Ooh.
the cotton candy, and the blue raspberry.
Yum, that's all good stuff.
I might go strawberry lemonade here. And then while we do, kind of tell us how they're made.
So they have
Oh.
Good.
So they have a right here. I have a demo right here, and so I'm gonna dip it in the.
Is it like a syrup?
It is a syrup, and then it has the candy right here, right? And then we just let it harden.
Excellent. So what's the trick? Do you kind of put it in like the freezer or you just let it sit?
I do. I do. I let it sit.
Oh my gosh.
So yummy.
That's awesome.
Great little sweet treat right
Yes.
there, too.
Candy and fruit, so it's
Yeah.
healthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love to
healthy.
see it.
Yes, it is.
Awesome. And you have multiple flavors like you're showing us here, so that's really fun as well.
Yeah. So some of them have, most of them have like Pop Rocks, Jolly Rancher.
Ooh.
Yes. So
That's awesome.
you guys will get to try those.
Oh,
It keeps you
very
being
cool.
a kid at heart, right?
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely. And then you also make like cool pickles. Walk me through that.
So with our pickles is that we wanted to add to the candy grapes, so we decided to make it something sweet, and then we like spices also. So we made it a sweet and spicy pickle, which we call them Hellish Divine pickles.
Oh my God.
So we
Hellish
have
Divine.
pineapple, we have blue raspberry, and watermelon flavor. I like this one. I
This
call
is your
it like a
favorite?
Krabby Patty, but actually the pineapple one. The pineapple one's the way to go.
Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. And you said these can be a little spicy.
Just a little bit. It's
Just a little
sweet,
kick.
and then it kicks in at the end. So they're really good.
Whoa.
And you also can add them.
Bursting with flavor?
Oh yeah.
It's like that spice kicked a little bit. But it's good, Just a little bit.
I feel like I'm still eating a Jolly Rancher here.
I know. That is so fun and it is so interesting. So talk to me about how you kind of choose your flavors here.
We're just kind of basically going off of what we like, and then also what a lot of consumers like eating. So it's been a lot of pineapple stuff going on, a lot of raspberries, a lot of watermelon. So just a basic, you know, and we want to just keep it simple so everybody could consume.
Is naming them really fun? Because you guys have some fun names.
Yeah, I was sitting at my job, and I work at Stadium High School, and I was sitting there with the kids. I was like, hey, we got to come up with a name.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, something that's like hot, and I was like hellish, and then I was like, what do you guys think about Hellish Divine?
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, that sounds cool right there.
That's awesome. And you know, people, we love that you're local. You know, there's an event coming up in Tacoma that you're a part of. Tell us all about that.
Yeah, so August 19th, we'll be at the Tacoma Bazaar.
Okay.
It's located on Union in Tacoma. So come check us out. We'll have a pop-up tent there, and we'll be selling pickles and grapes.
That's so awesome. Okay, and where can people find you? Where can they reach out to you?
We're on Instagram.
Yeah.
Instagram and Facebook and TikTok.
Okay.
And TikTok.
So just search your name, Dipped in Divine.
Yep.
And they'll find you that way.
Beautiful. Well, Stephanie and George, thank you so much for stopping by. And of course, we've put more information on fox13seattle.com/Studio13Live.
Yeah. And coming up on Studio 13 Live, is that the law or not? We're sitting down with legal experts to help answer your questions about the law.
Up next, forget the legroom though, why one girl's TikTok showing her flight seating arrangement is going viral. Stay with us.
Take you another mile. Don't got
A big announcement coming out of Starbucks today in honor of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, so Starbucks put together a playlist made of 122 Taylor Swift songs to celebrate the, end of the first leg of her U.S. tour. And Starbucks also came up with a list of some Eras-themed drinks. And some of them include Debut Hot Chocolate, Fearless Iced Blonde Latte, Lover Pink Drink, and Folklore Chai Tea Latte. How cool!
I love that.
I feel like a chai latte definitely kind of tracks with the vibe of Folklore.
Yeah,
it's nice, warming kind of drink.
I love a nitro cold brew, very intense, which I think also tracks with reputation.
Oh,
very
yeah.
intense.
Definitely. Midnight's chocolate cream cold brew. Okay.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That honestly makes me want to go to Starbucks and try some of those.
It does, absolutely.
To celebrate. And also, I'll never not think it's Starbucks Lovers. I'll never not think that when I hear that song. I just like that better.
Absolutely. All right, so it turns out that if you don't love to update your phone, it could now be worth a lot of money, potentially. If you still have the old Twitter Bird app, since Elon Musk rebranded the social media network to X, most people have updated their apps, or they just their phone updates automatically. And that means you don't have that bird logo anymore, replacing it with that new X. But those who don't have that automatic update on, they could still have the old logo and potentially make some money here. Okay, so listen to this. An eBay listing had one up for $25,000. So, we don't know if it's going to sell or not, but maybe being a little bit of a procrastinator helps here.
Yeah. On my last phone, I used to never be able to update my apps because I just didn't have the space on my phone to do the full software update. Should have hung on to that. I could have made a killing.
I know.
Oh, my goodness.
The things people will pay for really boggles the mind.
No kidding. I don't really like the X logo, though. Maybe it'll eventually grow on me, but right now, I even have a notification that's been sitting on there for a while. I haven't clicked it because I'm like, it looks like dark and scary.
I know.
I don't know. Too powerful for an app or something. Weirds me out.
I'm sure that's what the vibe Elon was going for sure.
Perhaps. If you think sitting next to somebody on an airplane is too close to comfort, what about sitting across from somebody? Well, a person on TikTok posted a video showing the seating arrangement on her way to Sweden. So she had to sit directly across from complete strangers. For anyone who has not flown on European airlines, this came as quite the shock. Comments are pointing out, Southwest Airlines actually used to do this on some of their U.S. flights, but they stopped because it was so awkward and uncomfortable for passengers.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, a train maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking this reminds me of a train.
Yeah, so I guess it's not the most novel idea ever, but I don't know, something about being in the air, it just is like you can't get up and change cars if you need to or anything. There's something like a little strange about it.
There is. And you know, I've actually flown a lot on European airlines, but I've never run into this before. So I would certainly be surprised. And I feel like even on a train, there's like a little table or something for separation. Not here, baby, not here.
Not here.
Oh my goodness. All right, this is another weird one right here. Okay, Pop-Tarts teaming up with Crocs for limited edition Croc-Tots. No, Croc-Tarts. There you go. It's a whole kit. They'll also make Croc-Tots someday as well, I'm sure. Okay, so take a look here. It comes with a pair of Crocs, and then for the first time ever, they have edible charms that are just hanging out by your Tootsies, right? That sounds great. They are shaped like Pop-Tarts, in fact. You can enter to win these on August 11th, 16th, and 18th. All you gotta do is head to croc-tarts.com to enter, and you know, I'm speechless. This is gross to me, Carly.
This is like, I guess, the shoe version of a candy necklace.
Oh,
you know, remember those? But it feels like cleaner because it's just your own skin that it's touching versus a foot.
Yeah.
And what do you do if you get them? Do you take them out of the box and then just like nibble off your little Croc? I don't know.
And I know our producer, Mireya, she loves Crocs. Mireya, tell your girl, would you do this? She says no. She says no.
Yeah, that was my first thought too. Oh my gosh, interesting. I wonder if a lot of people will be rocking these around.
If you win them, let us know. We want to ask you why you wanted to win them.
Tell us all about the experience. All right, Apple's making it easier to find new music that you actually like. So the Discovery station's available now on Apple Music. It picks songs that are similar to the ones that you already listened to help you find new songs. Now, this feature resembles Spotify's Discover Weekly playlist, but let's be honest, sometimes we just need to find some new music. Is this a feature you would use?
So I don't use either Apple Music or Spotify, but you're a Spotify girly, right?
Yeah, and I've been using the Discover Weekly playlist for like a decade.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's been a really long time. I'm actually pretty surprised to hear this story that this didn't already exist with Apple Music. Like, what's Apple Music been doing this whole time? Because they have playlists and stuff that are curated.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting, but I like to use TikTok to decide what new music I like, whatever's going viral.
So how do you listen to music then if you don't use streaming apps?
So I still, like a little old lady, buy my music on iTunes if I really like something.
Okay.
And I actually troll YouTube to listen for free because I'm too cheap to spend $1 sometimes.
Oh my gosh. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
So you own all your music. I mean, that's good, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or I wait for Carly to tell me what's popular and then I investigate.
I'll keep you in the loop.
Thanks.
I try to put like songs I really like on my Instagram stories sometimes. I like to hope people get excited and add them to their playlist too.
Oh, that's very cute. All right, well, there is an unlikely friendship that has gone viral. This video is something else, so take a look at this. A suspected bike burglar, who's even, dressed the part, I feel like, took a moment to give this California dog a little belly rub, some love for such a good boy. But then he just takes off with the owner's bike. Instead of barking though, this little pupper was just like, oh, you're leaving? That's sad.
Oh, his tail is wagging.
I know. So the Facebook clip says that the burglar, has not yet been identified. The bike is still missing. And I was reading about this, and apparently this person was like, oh, you're so good. I love you, to the dog. And then was like, peace out. I'm stealing this bike.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe that. Caught on video, clearly. Maybe he was thinking people were gonna, you know how people record through their Ring?
Yeah.
And you can catch people, whatever's happening on your street. Maybe he was just trying to look not suspicious there.
Maybe.
Or maybe people doing bad things still just love a cute dog and can't resist giving him a little belly rub. That is nuts.
I know. And We Rate Dogs on Instagram gave this doggy a rating of 14 for trying his best.
Oh, 14 out of 100?
14 out of 10.
Oh, out of 10.
They said, you're cute. We're going to let you have this win, but, let's think twice next time.
Wow. Interesting. I've never seen anything like that. If you get a sweet tooth every day, it turns out you are not alone. So a new poll found that most people actually crave a sweet treat around the time of 2:30 p.m., which is the perfect time to take a little mid-afternoon break. Is that your time?
That's my time.
Oh my gosh.
Interesting.
The most common desserts are ice cream, cookies, and anything with chocolate. The average person actually eats roughly 4 cookies a week. Where do you fall?
What size cookies? I feel like.
Does it matter?
Well, our assistant news director, Denise, cooks very tasty cookies. Tiffany also makes tasty cookies, but I could not have 4 of those a week. They're enormous.
I mean, I had two yesterday. They're really good cookies. For me, I like cookies are one of my top treats. Maybe they are my favorite dessert. If there's a cookie that is being offered up, I'm gonna say yes to it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I like a smaller cookie or a big cookie for a special occasion.
Yeah.
So, you know, whenever, you know, Denise makes her cookies or Tiffany brings them along, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have one.
Nice. What other kind of sweet treats do you use to kind of beat your cravings?
Here's the thing. I really like this, it's a Mexican candy called chamoy, and it's sweet and salty and sour. So that's kind of my go-to sort of sweet treat.
Nice. I like a chocolate bar. And then I feel like I eat more chocolate in winter just to kind of like warm me up. It doesn't warm you up. I don't know. For some reason,
if it does in your mind.
Feels, it feels like warming and nourishing or something. But during summer, I've been all about the popsicles lately. I probably have like 4 different types of like popsicles or fruit bars. I love a strawberry fruit bar. So good, especially when it's hot out.
You made me so hungry, and we still got so much show left to go. All right, well, people on Reddit are fighting over this question, okay? Should you be open to sharing your picnic? All of this started when a 22-year-old woman wanted to unwind after a hard day at work. She was just on a solo picnic, and then a young girl kept coming to her asking if she could have some of her food. Okay, the woman said no, and then the girl's aunt apparently showed up, and the mom too, and they ended up making a whole scene calling this woman selfish. That is one step too far for me. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if it was a little kid coming up and asking to try something, I'd probably give them like a little bite or something like that. But like that's to get mad at the person. I mean, it's their own personal food. It's not like a public, offering there. That's kind of interesting.
That is weird.
When it comes to like a group picnic, though, I mean, I feel like it's all about sharing, right? That's kind of the fun in it. You get to see all the little snacks people like and trade snacks and things like that.
But this could be this lady's dinner. You know what I mean?
It sounds like it was. I kind of love the idea of her romanticizing her life and having a solo picnic too.
That's great, absolutely.
Yeah, that's cute. All right, it's wedding season, which means there is a lot of family drama going around, unfortunately. And this man actually wants to know if he's the bad guy for asking his soon-to-be wife to cut down on her guest list for the wedding. He says that her family is much bigger than his, and she wants everybody to come. In the end, the guest list was more than 60 people, or her guest list was more than 60 people, and he asked if she could cut it down to around 25. Whoa. It's like less than half. She got upset, and as he puts it, has been sulking ever since. So bold move by this groom-to-be, don't you think?
Yes. I mean, okay, here's the thing. Weddings are pricey, of course. We all know this. And sometimes you got to make hard choices. But if somebody just has a bigger family, the family can come, my goodness.
But I do know I feel like this is a pretty common conundrum because I know someone who has been engaged for a couple of years, and they just can't, her fiance's 30th birthday had 300 people at it because he's from a huge family. They have so many family friends, and there's basically not an option to make it smaller. Wow. So they're just waiting. She's like, how am I supposed to feed 300 people here?
It sounds like they're all getting a sandwich. That's too many people.
I'm like, order pizzas. Do it on the cheap because that is a lot of people to feed.
That's a wild one. All right. Yeah. Still ahead on Studio 13 Live, the Lake House Bellevue showing us how to make their summertime heirloom tomato salad.
Yes, but first we're going to be sitting down with our legal experts to answer your questions about the law, including what to do when your tree falls on your neighbor's car. Be right back.
Don't gotta wait, don't gotta
It is time for Law or Nah, where we have some local legal experts that are going to help answer your questions about the law.
All right, and we have just the friends to help us do that. We have Donnie and Ken here from the Advocates Law Firm. Hello.
Hello.
It's so good to have you guys here.
We're here.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad we're visiting. Now, for the people out there who don't know, tell us a little bit about the Advocates.
We're a personal injury firm. We're in the Pacific Northwest. We've been here for about a dozen years and represent a lot of clients and need help.
That's awesome. Well, let's dive right into the first question, shall we?
Let's do it.
Sure.
All right, here's what they say. I got into a car crash with my best friend. We ended up hydroplaning on the off-ramp. We're both mostly okay, but she might have fractured or broken her arm. We don't know yet. But when I got home from the hospital, I got a message from her mom saying that she's taking me to court for attempted second-degree murder, claiming that the car crash wasn't an accident at all. Am I the only one that thinks this is crazy? What do I do?
Oh, that escalated very quickly.
Very quickly.
I don't. No, she's not the only one who thinks that's crazy.
Okay.
We all think that's crazy.
That's a lot. And so, even if her passenger's mother is the prosecutor, they still can't sue for attempted homicide.
That's criminal.
That's criminal, and that's not something that a private citizen can sue for. I mean, I get it. If it was one of my kids in the crash, I'd want anything, but that's just not realistic.
Right. I mean, like, especially because the person driving could have also hurt themselves. So is like intent important here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, it would certainly matter for the insurance if she was getting into the wreck to hurt this person.
Right.
But that's not what this.
No.
She's the driver in this car.
Yeah, I have to know, what is your recommendation, though, when you're dealing with somebody who's having these big reactions and making these big feeling threats in terms of like involving the law or a lawsuit?
Well, I think for this poor girl, it would just be about laying out the facts for her. What can this woman do? What can't this woman do? This woman can't bring criminal charges against her. So she's safe there. So I think it would just be about kind of, helping her understand what reality is. What's possible and what's not possible, and that she's okay and she's safe.
Yeah.
And maybe even giving the other person a little room to feel that way. But it's like, I totally get where you're coming from, and that's reasonable to feel that way. But look, no one was trying to kill your daughter.
Would you recommend they sort of step away and say, I'm not going to talk to you while you're upset like this. Like, let's wait a minute until we have this discussion, because maybe the lady will cool down?
Yeah.
That's a good option.
Yeah.
You don't want to get, I mean, it's just hard.
What a situation.
I know. I'm sure you guys deal with like people having big feelings a lot. So part of the job.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Speaking of difficult things to handle here, we have another question for you. You ready for it? Okay. So this person wrote in, I live in the Midwest, and a big storm came through last week, knocked out power, blew trees throughout my neighborhood. Well, a tree from my family's yard had a limb come loose, and then it landed on the roof of my neighbor's car. That roof is dented. The windshield has some damage towards the top. Here's the issue, though. My neighbor wants to hold us responsible and pay damages. We talked to our homeowner's insurance agent, and they said we're not liable and that she needs to get in contact with her own auto insurance provider. But then she called us back, said county officers told her that we were responsible. It's been a week. She hasn't gotten in touch with her insurance. I'm starting to think she doesn't have any. How do we proceed?
I think first question here is, where exactly was the tree?
Oh.
Really?
So how does that matter?
So where the tree was planted, so whether it was on their property, if it was on public property, kind of on the, the street side, the neighbor's property. It sounds like it was their property. She said it was, but I think that it depends who is responsible for paying, or what insurance company is responsible for paying.
Yeah, and I think I'd continue to work with the homeowner's insurance. I mean, it does matter where the tree is. It also matters who's responsible for taking care of the tree. Sometimes your HOA is responsible, and they might have, but it would be their insurance. And for this insurance adjuster to say that they're not responsible, I mean, how do you know an insurance adjuster is being misleading?
They say the word fair.
They say the word.
Yeah.
Oh, no! The shade.
But yeah.
That's fine.
So yeah, I think who was responsible for the care of the tree would ultimately be the person who was responsible for the damage to the car.
You know, I always wonder that because you have your home and your front yard, and then there's that like little sidewalk area where there's trees, and like some people seem to plant little flower gardens and things all in there. Who really owns that?
Depends on the city. Some cities, they take care of it. Sometimes it's the homeowners that are supposed to take care of it, and sometimes you're in an HOA where they take care of it.
Interesting. You know, we love our trees here in the Pacific Northwest, but it's always some sort of problem, right? Because even if it doesn't land on anything, let's say it lands in the neighbor's yard, then it's like, you clean it up. No, you clean it up.
Yeah.
You know? Oh my goodness.
Wild
You
times.
can't control that.
No.
Yeah.
That's why it's
can't.
frustrating, but it's something that you just have to deal with.
Yeah.
Especially living here.
The other one on this, though, if the neighbors did have insurance, that insurance would take care of it, and then that insurance company would get their money back from whoever is really
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So-
All right.
Interesting.
So an
All
option.
right. Well, thank you so much for that insight.
Of course.
Wild situations here. Donnie and Ken from the Advocates, thank you so much.
We're so glad to be here.
Yeah. And don't forget, you can submit your legal question to us on social media. You can find us on any platform at Studio 13 on Fox. Just send us a DM and let us know the situation.
What an opportunity. Definitely send that DM. Okay, coming up, we are learning how to elevate our summer salads with the Lake House Bellevue. We're going to be using some very fancy heirloom tomatoes and champagne vinegar.
Yum. And don't forget, if you missed anything from today's show, you can find it all on our website. Just head over to fox13seattle.com/Studio13Live.
Don't gotta wait today.
It is time for Emerald Eats, where we highlight some amazing food in the area. And the Lake House Bellevue offers some sophisticated dining in Bellevue's Lincoln Center, featuring farm-fresh ingredients and Pacific Northwest cuisine.
And today we are learning how to elevate our salads with Executive Chef Kevin Benner and sous chef Ruben Hendricks. Welcome.
Hi.
Thank you.
Good to see you guys again.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, so not to burst anyone's bubble, we have about a month left of summertime, maybe a teeny bit longer. What ingredients are in season right now to make this refreshing salad?
Ingredients right now, we have heirloom tomatoes. It's kind of at the height of their season, as well as peaches and some other stone fruits, but we're going to play with just the heirloom tomato and some fresh basils today.
Love it. Let's do it.
Yep. So for the salad, we do start with some red onion, which Ruben's going to dice for us, and then we just get into our heirloom tomatoes. All the ingredients for the salad are pretty much raw. It's the best way to have it. We also have some basil, if one of you would like to start picking some leaves off our fresh basil.
Love it.
So that
Should I
can
just put them
go-
straight in the bowls
You
or
can
in
actually
this
put them
one?
right into this one.
Should I break them into teeny pieces?
Yeah, let's put them in small pieces.
We
Sounds
need a
good.
lot of instruction, Chef.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Mireya had a pretty good time cutting butter yesterday.
Oh, okay, no, I'm sure you will succeed far and away with this
Too big,
basil,
you have to
okay?
break this
Oh,
up.
okay. Okay, smaller. Oh.
It's like the bear in here. Oh my goodness.
Yes, chef.
All right, I have to ask you though, heirloom tomato, is that just code for lumpy or do they like taste different?
It's strangely colored. They do taste different. It's a varietal of seed that has been kind of passed down and handed down, mostly for its qualities of how it tastes. And
Okay.
so these are old tomatoes that have been around for quite a few centuries, and they've been prized for the way that their flavor is.
Like the seeds are older?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's really important to look for them because they're, they've been kept around for a reason.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's interesting that there's so many variations in the color of them, too.
Yeah, it's really fun to play with their own tomatoes. It makes your salad look beautiful without having to do much because of all the different colors. So we're gonna do, the salad is gonna go on a burrata cheese, one of our favorites.
Yes.
Really good. It's mozzarella with cream on the inside. So the mozzarella skin's on the outside of the cheese, and on the inside is some more fresh mozzarella, but it's mixed with a little bit of cream, so it's super creamy.
That is amazing.
Chef's kiss.
Now,
Don't pull this.
let's see here. Let's talk a little bit about how we elevate our salads, because when I think salad, I usually just like, if I'm honest, open a bag and toss some lettuce in there. But you can make them way cooler. So walk me through ways we can do that.
Yeah, I think it's about really being more open-minded to the ingredients that we use. The salad generally would have lettuce and maybe some cucumber and radish or whatever.
Sure,
but
yeah.
in this case, you can make salads with a lot of fresh ingredients. You can use, like we're doing tomatoes, you can add peaches to this that are fresh. You can even do a salad with some nice grilled autumn vegetables, which is really kind of neat too.
Like a warm salad?
Yeah, like a warm salad, and then maybe we could do some quinoa in there in the warm salad. So we're going to use the quinoa today in the tomato salad to make it more interesting.
Awesome.
And we also brought one of our favorites is like an olive brittle. So we take black olives, dry them out, and then kind of grind them up and put them in a little bit of a candy so that they're crunchy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before. That's exciting.
Fermented.
I am obsessed with our overhead camera right now because I feel like you can now really see how you guys work on the salad.
Look at
This
that.
is so beautiful.
So once we've made these, say we have some left over, how do we kind of keep our salads from getting soggy?
For the tomato salad, you could put it in something like a strainer. That works pretty well. So if the tomatoes go in the strainer and put the strainer in a bowl like this, the juices from the tomatoes will kind of come out and go to the bottom of that bowl, and you still have your salad in the strainer. So
keep it separated?
So keep it separated so then you can serve the salad a few hours later, and it's nice to, you don't have all that water all over the place from the tomatoes.
That is such a great idea.
All right, so quinoa, onions, basil's in there. We're gonna do some champagne vinegar.
Yum. Sounds like a party.
It does.
And then throw a bunch of olive oil in there.
Great.
Do you get like a higher quality olive oil for your salads, or?
We use an Italian olive oil, extra virgin for salads and like finishing things.
Yeah.
Lots of salt.
Flaky salt, we love
it. And then we'll just give this a quick toss.
Very nice.
Mix everything up.
Oh my gosh, if you guys could smell what's
I know.
it's so good.
And from there, we can just go right into. I like to put it like right on the cheese.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Make a big mess.
And not for nothing, but that cheese has a lot of protein, so I'm feel real good about eating the salad.
Yeah.
Yeah, mozzarella and burrata are great cheeses like that. They're a little bit on the leaner side, but they have so much flavor, so they're really fun.
Now, while you're plating, you gotta tell us, what are some other really popular dishes that you have this time of year?
We do a lot of our menu is seasonal, so we pretty much stick with all seasonal vegetables on all of our dishes. But right now we have a really fun tuna prosciutto that we kind of age the tuna and do a prosciutto with melons. Cool. And so that's also, those are good this time of year.
Awesome.
Let's see, the tomatoes are in, and then we should definitely do some black truffle.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Oh, I've never seen truffle like that before. That's so cool. I keep saying, I've never seen this before. I had no idea. Just getting my mind blown here on Studio 13.
Let's do some olive brittle too.
Olive brittle.
I personally have never seen olive brittle, so I'm very excited to try. You guys are really expanding our palates. Thank you so much.
We're going to dive into this, and while we do, tell us about your happy hour. You've got from 4 to 5 p.m. What can people find on that menu?
A lot of great seasonal drink specials that we have there, and also tomato salad, and a lot of our salads, and even some of our entrees are on there. You've got a cool aged burger.
This is so good. Kevin and Ruben, thank you so much.
Thank you.
More info on the Lake House Bellevue on our website. Find it all there. We'll see you tomorrow. The salad's
Back
so
in
good.
here. Yeah.
We got to end the show. The salad's good.
I know. The salad's good.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile.